of speech is about dog training. Do you have a dog who barks at any noise or other people, chews on things they are not supposed to, digs holes in the yard, runs away from you, jumps on yourself or other people, or just does not want to listen? I have experienced these issues with my dog and how to correct the problem. Let's explore these problems and how to train your dog not to do them. Let's first discuss crate training. This is typically good for puppies. An adjustable crate is ideal for your growing dog. They have just enough room for starters that should allow them to stand up and turn around. Put the crate in the room you want the dog in most. Never use the crate as a punishment. You should put a soft blanket in the crate so your dog is comfortable. It's important to leave the crate door open until the dog gets used to being in the crate. Let them explore it at their own pace and never force them to go in there, otherwise they will never want to be in there. Placing treats or a toy near or just outside the crate will allow the dog to get used to the crate, and eventually you can put the treats or toy in further and further so they will start going in there more and more. Once your dog is comfortable with being in the crate, you can begin starting to shut the door. The first time you do shut the door should be when you are feeding the dog in the crate, and you should open the door as soon as they are done eating. You should begin to increase the time you shut the door every time they are feeding in their crate. If the dog begins to whine, you should never let them out of their crate, because if you do, when they are whining, they will whine the next time because they will think you will let them out. After they are completely comfortable being in their crate and having the door shut, you can begin to teach them the word kennel and pointing to it when you want them in there. It is important to do this several times a day and be out of their sight when you leave them in there. When your dog is comfortable in the crate for 30 minutes, you can leave them for short periods of time when you need to do a quick errand, but make sure they have treats or toys. You can begin to crate the dog at night also, as long as they are near or in your bedroom, so you can hear if they have to go outside, especially with a puppy. It is also important to do this so your dog does not feel isolated. House training. Expect accidents. There are two main methods of house training. One is paper training and the other is crate training. Paper training will keep your dog to do it in a contained area where you will cover it with newspaper. They are only going on the newspaper. You can then start to increase the newspaper away until you have one left, and then you can start taking the dog to go outside. People choose this method because of not always having access available for the dog to go outside when it needs. Crate training is used when the dog has accepted the crate as its sleeping place. They do not like to use the bathroom where they sleep, so they will want to go outside. Crate training should have them on a specific schedule. House training can take up to 6 months, so patience and consistency is the key. Leash training, short positive sessions. Treats, praises, other forms of reward is good to use when they have correct behavior. If they are pulling, you should stop and do not continue walking until they have stopped pulling. Short walks is best to correct the pulling. Walking by your side is also important. If your dog is all over the place, keep the short leash by your side, but not dragging them along. You can also give them more leash and reward them with treats when they learn not to leave your side. The sit command, you should be at the dog's level. You can hold a treat next to their nose and let their head follow the treat in your hand. As their head moves up, their butt will lower. When their butt hits the floor, you can give them the treat and immediately praise them. It is important to repeat this multiple times every day using the word sit. The command come should be used with, you can clip a long line to your dog's collar and let them drag it around. After they are used to the line, take the line and walk them around with the yard with it. After they get used to that, they will know you are attached to each other. You can begin to walk them around and so you can follow. When they twirl around and come towards back to you, you can give them a treat, beginning to use the word come and give them treat or praise when they do come to you. It is important not to repeat this more than once. If they do not listen, instead go and guide them where you want them to go. The stay command is the hardest to master. You should have the leash on the dog and have them sit next to you. You should wave your flat palm and let them and say stay. Step in front of them, wait a few seconds, step back beside them. Reward them if they stay put. If they move, you need to put them back where they were. Do the stay command again with the hand signal. It is important to practice multiple times daily in different areas. And after they do understand this, you teach them a release word like okay, so they can move. The down command, you hold a treat in your closed hand and place at the dog's muzzle. When they notice the scent of the treat, you can move your hand towards the floor, and if they lay down, you can give the treat to them. It is important to repeat this again daily using the word down. Training for chewing is just keep your dog contained with the chew toy when you aren't able to watch them. Make sure anything they can put in their mouth isn't around. Getting exercise every day is important to help them keep from chewing everything. Make sure they have proper chew toys, bones, to prevent them from chewing on things you do not want them to chew on or up. An important thing with dog training is understanding how your dog learns. Dogs learn by immediate consequences of behavior. It basically comes down to if you like the behavior, reward it. If you don't like the behavior, take rewards away. And what to expect is just have realistic expectations. As long as the dog has done bad behaviors for a while, it's going to take longer for them to correct it. Being consistent and patient is important, and giving them lots of attention when they do things right. While I have covered many different aspects of dog training, only you and your dog will know what's right for the both of you. The two most important things I would say when training a dog is lots of patience and consistency.